Yo, welcome in, fellas. Now I'm trying something out today I've never tried out before, and you might have thought, hey, he's not even holding a weapon, Phil. You kind of forgot something. No, I did not. We're trying out the punch barb. Now, welcome into the new meta, fellas. You used to think the Hamburger was good. You used to think that the Mosaic Assassin was good. Not anymore after you see this punch barb. Now, that's obviously a joke. This is more of kind of an off meta and maybe off meta type of build, or less just something to kind of do just for fun. I'm going to show you how I threw this together, what gear, what skill points, and where the stats are at. And then towards the end of the video, I'm going to show you exactly how good this actually does work. First of all, now for the stats, I put just enough strength to wear my gear, and then I have gear pieces on that bumps my strength up even higher. I didn't put any points in the dex, even though that will increase your average chance to land. But after I use some skills and different things like that, this will be much higher chance to land. I dumped everything into vitality, nothing into energy. You see the resistances darn near capped everything out. Now for the skill tree here, I actually use Berserk a lot. It's just an individual attack. Unfortunately, you can't like not wield anything in either hand and just punch with both hands. You can't use double swing. You can't use frenzy. It's unfortunate. You can only punch with that one hand over and over again, just throwing right hooks all over the place. So went ahead and went with Berserk. 955% of the damage turned into magic, 500% attack rating. Now, most of the time against some of the smaller, weaker, or even against like bosses and things like that, you have so much resistance and just so much different survivability here. You don't really ever have to worry about even most of the time leeching life. You can just drink maybe a potion here and there, and you'll be perfectly fine. Depending on what you're doing, whether you're going after Ubers or declone later, I'll show you a tad bit of some of that stuff. I actually put some points, my remaining points, into concentration. And with these few points right here, when I'm going against things like declone, this actually works better. So I'm guessing whether you're going Ubers or declone later, concentration is going to be a better option. But for a lot of the monsters, if you're out there just magic finding, chopping down champions, uniques and stuff, you can one-shot them super easy with this right here. Just boom, one punch and they're down. Taking a look at combat and masteries. Now I did put enough points over here, actually 8 base points, to cap out a couple of those and get the couple other ones up there pretty good on the resistances. The other one's just 1 point wonders. You could forgo this if you wanted to, if you swap some gear pieces around. And over on the war cries, actually it is important to show that concentration actually has the battle order synergy and Berserk has Howl and battle orders, but I use Berserk most of the time. So coming over to war cries, we have Howl maxed out, and of course battle orders. Also, you use battle orders all the time, and you can use Howl as well, depending on where you're going and what you're doing, because this build isn't just for going after like one monster. You could actually take this out and do a few different things with it. You could actually use this for farming gear if you wanted to. Now the interesting part, take a look at the gear. Here's our weapon. Yeah, nothing of course, because it's a punch barb, fellas. Over on the shield, there are going to be kind of a couple different options, maybe some other ones, and feel free, anything other options you want to mention down in the comments. Here with the Lance Guard, you got 20% extra deadly strike. So deadly strike, you get a double damage hit whenever that does proc. You do get life. I put the Amrut in there for all res to kind of get that up there. And it's got faster hit recovery on there too. You could throw some other things on with a better block chance, or there is a shield that has like 50% open wounds. So if you have problems crocking open wounds, or you just want to make sure that that always is applied on the monster, you go ahead and grab that shield as well. I'll slide it in right here while I'm editing. Over on the amulet here, I went with the High Lords. You got deadly strike, a huge amount here, lightning res, increased attack speed, so you're punching even faster. Now I threw on Enigma here. I mean, you could throw on a Fortitude. There could be a bunch of different options actually, really, you could throw on here. But I went with Enigma for the teleport. You can run even faster, so even if you're not teleporting because you don't have a lot of mana, you can run. You get a ton of strength, damage reduction. You know, Enigma is just crazy. And since you're going to be using this once in a while out magic finding, if you're using it in that type of capacity, you do get 99% magic find here. This is a 99 character. Now on the gloves, I decided to go with Laying of Hands for the faster attack, 350 damage to demons. You do get the fire res up there as well. So you're actually dealing more of the damage to demons. Now you don't deal a ton of damage, so bumping that up, like let's say you are going after declone, getting that little bit more damage at the end, you know, you stall out if you're relying strictly on crushing blow on those bosses like that. So I decided to go ahead and throw these gloves on. Could go with blood gloves. There could be some other things over here as well. Now on the rings, I decided just to stick with this, threw it on there with Berserk. Life Leech actually doesn't apply when you're using Berserk. Concentrate, it will though. So I decided to just go ahead and leave this on there. There could definitely be other choices you could swap around in there. And on the other ring, decided to go with the BK ring, kind of similar situation. We get a skill, we do get the life, but the life leech not applying with the berserk, but when we do use the concentration, it would work. Up here on the G face, we did throw a Chammer in there to get our Canopy frozen. Like you could replace one of these with a Ravenfrost if you wanted to, but then bodies would be shattering. You don't really want the cold damage on any build when you're going to be using find item like you are here on the Barbarian, obviously. For the belt, decided to go with Nosferatu's Coil. That way you can get a little bit more attack speed. So getting a little more, the faster you attack, obviously the more crushing blows will proc, the more deadly strikes it'll proc. And if you do swing faster, even more open wounds, you know, anything that procs, it can proc more times if you're attacking faster. Over on the boots here, it's our only source of open wounds right now. So we got Gore Riders right here, the Crushing Blow, Deadly Strike, and like I already mentioned, open wounds. Great to throw on over here. Goblin Toes could be an option as well, of course. Now, on swap, some of this stuff is going to be only used in certain circumstances. I always go ahead and use a Demon Limb, right? So you go ahead and enchant yourself up. It gives you a little bit of fire damage. It really, the attack rating is kind of the most important, I suppose, right there. And on the other side, I have a life tap wand. So when I am using concentration, I can go ahead and life tap them, and then that does go ahead and help keep you alive a little bit if you are going after something like Declone, which I will show you a little bit later. Of course, we do want to torch an Annie, and I wouldn't blame if you're out there magic finding, throwing yourself a Geeds right over here as well, getting a little more magic find. I usually would do that. I don't have one in this particular instance. Now, I didn't want to go ahead and make this just some ridiculous thing that nobody could possibly get by throwing all 3 2020s in the inventory or anything. So these, I have 3 20s that are life over here, and I have 3 20s that are attack rating over here. Now, if you have 2 17s, if you have 3 17s, or if you have Grand Charms that are 10, 24, 84 attack rating or something like that, you could throw all different varieties of that stuff over here. These are just kind of placeholders for different variations of those large charms, grand charms, and small charms that you find along the way or that you can trade for. Now, I did decide to go with a mercenary. Now, the Might Mercenary does bump up your damage, so I went with that, and he does output quite a bit of damage as well. I know the main thing here is to see how the punch barb goes, and you will see that, but the mercenary definitely can help out, and there's no reason to forego a mercenary just for the sake of foregoing it, I suppose. So I decided to throw on Infinity. It does actually, the Conviction Aura, we're not doing elemental stuff, but it does lower the defense. You can land more blows. It's just a great overall weapon as well. Just having the 40% crushing blow on your mercenary and a high base damage on it as well. This is pretty standard setup for a lot of characters. And Darrow's Visage and Fortitude there on the armors and the helmet slots. And yeah, let's go see this guy punch some demons to the ground. And he just became terrorized. Why don't we go hit that up then, huh? So you know how the saying goes, when in Rome, go take out Endaro, right? Something like that anyways. So we're going to go over here, and I'm actually going to go ahead and just hit it with a Howl. And I'm actually using the Berserk here, chop, chop, chop. Now, is this the fastest Endaro killer? I suppose not. Not really what it's necessarily made for, but just to show you, you could go take stuff out like this, you know, if you wanted to, if you were rocking this build, kind of for the lulz, for the memes. Now, of course, an absolute staple for any Barbarian, you got to come out and hit Trav, right? Bring him in here, and actually I'm gonna go ahead and howl them away. The thing is that they can't go ahead and heal each other, and they can't go ahead and throw down Hydras if you do howl them while they're running around all scared and stuff like that. So the unique ones like Ismail here, or whatever the other one's name was, I forget, those don't get howled away, but the other ones do. You see them running around. Now I'm up on them, and they're finally attacking me, and yeah, you can chop most of them out. They do run away. It does make it ever so slightly annoying, but chop, 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 down he goes. And of course, don't forget that find item skill. Gotta put that to use. And of course, pretty easy spot. Why don't we come out here and test her out a little bit, huh? Mercenary actually chopped him down before I could even get an attack off. So that does happen, and there's nothing wrong with that. Here we go, punch, punch, punch. Got him to about half health before the mercenary came over and started helping us out. And another one that's one of my favorite, like, off-meta places to go, out here at Thresh Socket. Now, he is cold, so he's going to chill us out. This is going to take a little bit longer than normal because even though we have the Cham Rune, we can only swing so fast. So, well, there we go. Mercenary came up, helped us out a little bit as well. So down he goes, and you can go ahead and use find item on him as well. Now, how does this work against some of the maybe endgame bosses? I don't know. Let's see how it goes against Declone. Now, it's kind of shocking here how well it actually works, but I will note that you can use Berserk. I have done it. It does work, but it actually worked a little bit better, even with these only a few levels into concentrate, not even really going fully into that. It did work a little bit better. The thing is too, once you're enchanted up, we can go ahead and put life tap on as well, and that will help us out a little bit. We'll try to get him away from the portal. It's kind of annoying when he's there, but here we go ahead and punching away with concentrate, and look at his health dropping down when those crushing blows take off. It really, you don't see any problem until you get down a little bit lower. It will slow down a little bit, but still, I mean, you're going pretty fine right here. We're going to see how much it slows down here, and hopefully our open wounds stays procced with only that 10%, but we're swinging, swinging, swinging away. He's almost done, and we don't even move out of the way of any of his attacks. Just never stop swinging. The life tap did run out here, but I'm just going to keep swinging because he's almost down. Just has that one little sliver of hope, of health left, excuse me. And, you know, hopefully we get him right here. Swing, 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 punch, punch, punch. Looks like the open wounds de-procced or whatever he ran out. Hopefully it procs again here, and we're going to chop him down. It's one of the problems here with using the concentrate doing so much less damage. There he goes down. So that really wasn't much of a problem. I only used one healing potion. I did nothing to my mercenary. And just for the S's and G's, how does it roll? Okay, all right, 16, 19, 5. Now, I am sure you can take out the whole Ubers and go get torches and that stuff right there, but with the gear setup I have right here, since I'm kind of a magic finder at heart, I don't really like farming torches. I don't really have the perfect gear setup for that, but this is when you actually get out there, you got some magic find, you got your find item skill, really find stuff, and you could actually take out your declone. So really, even after you went through maybe a ladder start, you could jump into this build and really use it, and people would see you out there punching stuff. What is this guy doing? So it's just kind of a funny, fun build. If you liked the video, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe up if you are new to the channel. Peace out, fellas, and keep slaying.